TIFU by telling my roommate I loved his cooking. I think there's a legitimate chance your roommate is screwing with you and wants to see how many horrifying dishes they can make before you crack and tell them to stop. That was my first thought as well. Try to get the roommate to eat some of it as well to make sure. That's a good point. Surely they're trying it for themselves and have taste buds lol. Surprise him with one of your own. Go for something like a wasabi, blue vein cheese and durian omelette. Edit. I'm glad my most upvoted comment is about potentially making a roommate throw up their guts with awful food. Yes. Assert your dominance. Yeah. Shit on it. Tell the truth. Eat shit omelettes or move. 3 options. Edit. First time I have ever had more than 500 upvotes. Thanks. Or go vegan just to avoid omelettes. Or buy a goat and have it eat the omelettes. I always wanted a baby goat. If roommate didn't eat this, neither should you. But your situation is the outcome of being nice when honesty was the preferred course of action. If you want to go one further, buy him an omelette recipe book and encourage him to try one of those, something you might like too. And while that's happening, casually mention how craisins in omelettes is god awful. Giving him omelette recipes to try out is a great idea. He learns how to make delicious omelettes. And you don't have to admit that you technically lied to your roommate. BTW. I hate it when people don't give any negative feedback on my cooking. So make sure to give constructive criticism as your roommate learns a new skill. Or just tell him that your absolute favorite is plain scrambled eggs. The truth goes a long way and this is not even insulting. Garlic, cheese, and cranberry omelette. Beautiful. TBH, if you take the cranberries out, this has the potential to be a favorite of mine. Depending on the kind of cheese used. Hell, I might actually try to make something like this. Yeah, for sure. Who doesn't love garlic and cheese? The cranberries are a major deal breaker though lol. Sounds like your roommate might be Polish. Both combinations could be found there, and honestly, I can understand you don't like cranberries. But for me that combination sounds legit awesome. And my girlfriend would love the horseradish omelette. Or Ukrainian. They eat boiled carp. For Christ's sake. Christ loved his boiled carp. His slaves made it for him every Friday. Has your roomie ever played Neopets? If my beloved Erie and Terry can eat a nugget melon omelette. I know you're probably not looking for advice, but maybe you could try telling him what you do like, scrambled eggs, instead of what you don't, nasty omelette. But for real, those sound vile. There are more ways to make gnarly scrambled eggs than there are good ones. Somehow I have no faith in roommate to pull off acceptable scrambled eggs, unless Op loves rubbery sulfury dry type scramble. You might like to thank him for the food, but suggest some combinations work a bit better on your palate. Cheese and tomato, cheese and ham spinach, Italian hard cheese, grated, finely chopped vine tomatoes, red bell pepper, ricotta cheese and pancetta, tiny lasagna, tiny pizza, tiny pie, little tiny, fried eggs, food that doesn't get suck or linear lips. Your lying hurts both you and your roommate. Wouldn't it be easier to just tell the truth? You're not sparing them by lying. You're doing them a disservice. I mean true, cause it'll eventually come to a point where they'll cook for someone else, and that someone may actually tell them that the food sucks. And then he'll eventually connect the dots that he wasn't being honest in the first place and feel betrayed. Make up a story like this is good, but you know what I really like? Scrambled eggs. Then when you get the scrambled eggs, just go on and on about how they are the best scrambled eggs. Problem solved. Kinda. Till he makes scrambled eggs with pickled eggs, olives, spit, dandruff, and a small dash of semen. Gross a small dash. I'm laughing about this in bed because this could be my husband. I read it to him and he indignantly exclaimed, "That sounds nice." Oh hell's bells. Did you marry a goat? Like an actual goat? Yeah, she married the greatest of all time in terms of omelette taste. Could you ask them to try a recipe? How many of these TIFU are solved by just growing a duckine backbone and communicating? Not just TIFU either. My husband makes me press my boobs on the window before letting me in the house. How can I let him know this is degrading without saying anything to him? My neighbor parks me in, so I have had to take the bus to work for 2 months. How can I passive aggressively get back at him? My MILF thinks I love her taste in decorating, so she has painted all my rooms in a color that makes me vomit, replaced all the pictures on my walls with nudes of herself, and sleeps next to my husband, M48, every night so he can continue to breastfeed. Is this normal? Jesus. People, say something. Or accept your fate as the fool who has no control over their own life. This made me laugh until I cried. So true. Most people who cook actually take criticism well. So go ahead and tell him they aren't good, just make sure to give reasons why. My partner and I both really enjoy cooking, and probably the closest we come to really serious arguments are when we genuinely can't offer suggestions to improve a dish. Since we are both the kinds of people who would rather hear constructive criticism than have someone just be polite. My boyfriend just says add this, and I say no, I wanna add that, and we wind up adding both and it tastes pretty good. Maybe start by giving constructive pointers. I liked, but isn't my favorite flavor. Maybe try switching for, instead. Sandwiching criticism with compliments goes a long way. This criticism without actionable advice is mean. Critique is constructive, not destructive. You could even soften it by saying, if you like those flavors together, nobody is gonna yuck your yum. But those flavor combinations are just a bit too adventurous for your taste, and you prefer simple scrambled eggs, especially first thing in the morning, haha. Is he American? Are you in college? These are the weirdest combos. I'ma need some more context here. Also, is he on medication? Has he withdrawn from society and normal functioning as an adult? Maybe he just straight up can't taste and is going purely off texture. As someone who cooks almost daily, please tell us when our food is shit. The least we want is to become bad cooks. In fact, most of us want to know when and how we screwed up so we can improve. You're living in a sitcom. Assuming they're not messing with you, try something like, I'd prefer it without the cranberries because cheese and garlic actually sounds pretty nice. Discourage him from the gross stuff and help him improve. This seems like a very common sitcom material, just look it up and find out how they dealt with it the next episode. Chidi and Agony wrote this post. You misspelled weird. You misspelled. He's messing with you. Come on. Dried cranberries and garlic? Honestly, I like some weird combos and those two alone sound pretty good to me. Maybe not in an omelette though. What a beautiful torture method. Did you catch on yet? I'd like an update on this, please. Easily solvable. Just casually mention how epic a normal omelette with crunched up bacon and pepper scattered across it is the best of all time. He will start making those for you. You may have to deal with the common raisin or something, but that's not that bad. I feel like the only logical move here is to make a food blog documenting all of his culinary concoctions, or a YouTube review channel. I'm convinced there is not a single sane person on earth that unironically puts raisins and prunes in omelettes. Your roommate is either ducking with you, or is mentally ill and this is a cry for help. Easy fix. Tell him you're starting intermittent fasting, only eating from 1 PM to 9 PM. And you won't have to worry about shitty omelettes, unless he's a psychopath and he makes omelettes for lunch. If that's the case, you gotta move. When it comes to wasting food, I have to say nip this in the bud as quickly as possible. I was taught never to waste food. Be honestly brutal. Rip this band-aid off quickly so the real healing can begin. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.